Let's start the recording. Got it. All right. So here we are today. We are the Instructional Design and Learning Special Interest Group, and this is session 2 of our Let's Make the Website Better website refresh. The last time, if you watched the video, you'll know that we basically went over an overview of the website, the kinds of websites that STC designs and builds, and we do use WordPress, and we use tagging, and we use keywords, and we use structure, but that was just an overview. And so today we're going to tackle the thorny subject of themes, and that's why we have our web Jedi Tim Esposito with us, and we have some other people, brave sojourners like ourselves, and we're going to do this together. It's good to have a lot of input. It's also good to have a lot of opinions. Before we start the actual digging into the themes and talking about some of the changes that we want to make, I thought it would be good to have a talk about who are we working for, right? Who's gonna end up consuming, once we make this website, we've made this wonderful, let's consider it a deliverable, we've delivered it, and who are we delivering it to? Who are going to be the consumers if we're the producers? And one of the tools that we've been trying to learn more about is creating personas. Persona is sort of a fictitious concept of someone in the audience, and you get a collection of personas, and then you kind of make them real. You know, they're in our imagination, and we give them details and we give them form. We try to figure out, what do they want? What are they here for? What can they contribute? That kind of thing. And if we always keep those personas in mind, then we're going to end up with a better deliverable, because we're going to get something that people actually want, need, and will use, rather than just look at this website, isn't it nice, and no one goes there. So if I can have your indulgence, I did a little bit of homework, and I made 4 personas. And what I'll do is I'll just share my screen, and then we'll talk about the 4 personas and you may also have some users in mind as I talk about the personas that I developed. Maybe then that'll give you ideas to throw out more ideas and wants and needs of the people that you have in mind when you think about our website. So if you can see that, here is my, oops, I'm trying to get, there we go, PowerPoint to cooperate with me. So, and I've got to hide all my Zoom stuff. Sorry about this. There we go. So when I was thinking about our website, I was thinking about 4 different kinds of users, visitors, I don't know what you want to call it, but 4 groups that are going to be interacting with our website. And I decided to use, instead of fake people, I decided to use fictional characters. The characters from Charlotte's Web. This is where you guys turn your microphones on and laugh with me, because if you don't, I'm going to feel very exposed and vulnerable. All right. So because the first persona that I wanted to wrap my mind around was what we used to call internet web spiders. We want to make sure that our website gets found by the other personas. And back in the olden days, we used to call those spiders, right? And so I'm like, spiders? I need a famous spider. And the famous spider that I thought of was Charlotte. So I made my characters for Charlotte's Web. And so Charlotte is a web crawler, obviously, and she is the one who is going to determine whether or not we have good SEO, good search engine optimization. There are some things that we can do that will feed Charlotte and make her love us. And there's some things that we can do that will basically be like insect repellent, and she won't love us. And therefore, if anybody tries to use a search engine, they won't be able to find us, right? So Charlotte's a web crawler. She's an SEO hunter, and she's friendly if we know how to feed her. So we want to make sure that whatever we do, it is Charlotte friendly. And she helps Wilbur and Templeton to find us. So that's Charlotte. Anybody have questions about Charlotte? All righty. The second persona is Wilbur. Wilbur is, of all the people that I want to find us and start using our website, Wilbur is the one, because Wilbur is new here, right? Wilbur is not already plugged into STC or in a big way. Wilbur is not already plugged into our IDL, instructional design and learning world. And we want to make sure that Wilbur can find us. So we're making friends with Charlotte. Charlotte tells Wilbur how to find us. And then Wilbur is new here, right? Wilbur is curious. Wilbur does not know what he wants, though. He needs connection to our community, and I guess I want to say our community needs connection to him, and he needs discoverability. And I contrast discoverability with searchability. Searchability is when you know what you're looking for and you can type in keywords and find it. Discoverability is you don't really know what you're looking for. You're kind of basically scanning the interface, and hopefully something in the interface will tickle your fancy and you'll discover something. So any questions about Wilbur? Wilbur's very clean. I found a picture of him being very clean. There we go. The third persona that I want to talk about, that's us pretty much. This is Fern. If you're familiar with the Charlotte's Web story, Fern is not Wilbur's owner because she's not the farmer, but she's basically Wilbur's caretaker, right? She's the little girl that takes care of him and gave him the little bath that we saw in the last slide. Fern, and that's us. Fern is the content provider for Wilbur. So we're basically the content providers to our Wilbur. She is aware of Charlotte, right? So you can see in the picture, she's looking at Charlotte. But all the faces here, we're all volunteers. We are busy. And so we want to make sure that what we do is effective, but I want it to be easy, you guys. I don't want to have to be calling Tim, all the time whenever we want to try something new. I would like for a lot of what we do to sort of be intuitive and friendly.
I agree.
Thank you. So you're one of our ferns, right? Or you might be, anyway. Thank you, Tim. So, and then the fourth persona is, of course, Templeton. If you're familiar with the story of Charlotte's Web, Templeton is this barn rat, and he's a sarcastic, but he kind of knows everything. So Templeton has been around, knows STC, knows IDL, but also knows where else he can go, right? So if Templeton doesn't find what he needs with us, Templeton's smart enough to go to another barn and eat their cheese, right? Templeton's kind of a lurker. He needs findability. Templeton knows the keywords to search for, but the findability is going to be the key for Templeton. Templeton asks, what's in it for me? When Templeton comes here, he's not as impressed with the things that would impress Wilbur, like the shiny, something new, something to learn. Templeton needs kind of meaningful, something I can use today, make my job better, make myself a better technical communicator. So Templeton needs high quality stuff that's easy to find, findable. And Templeton, I got to tell you guys, in this case, Templeton is not going to be happy with us shuffling things around, right? We're going to make changes on this website. Templeton's going to know, like, hey, I go over here and it's in the upper right corner and it's red. And if we turn that around and it's not red anymore and it's not in the upper right corner, we're going to have us a couple of unhappy Templetons. So I just say that we're going to be prepared to have a little, I'm going to use the air quotes here. We'll have us some feedback, people. And it might not all be positive because we're going to be making changes. You guys have any questions about my fabulous, awesome sauce, imaginative personas?
You're right. They are awesome, Vicky. I love the whole idea. So then you're going to show us how we might apply that to the website that we have now, right?
So what we're going to do is every time we look at something, because Tim's going to show us some new things, and you, Marilee, are going to kind of steer the truck in a couple of directions. Every time we look at something, we want to think of how, because we're going to have to make some judgments. Is this good or is this bad? Is this a direction we want to go? And you'll notice who wasn't on a slide. There was not a slide of Vicky, right? We're not designing this website for Vicky. There was not, I am part of the content provider group, but I'm not the only content provider. If we let me make all the decisions, we're going to get a great website for Vicky, but unless there's a lot of Vickies out there, it's not going to get a whole lot of use. So we want to make sure that we keep the SEO top of mind, discoverability for new people top of mind, ease of use for all of the faces that you see here on the screen today. And we're going to keep that try to keep that Templeton as happy as possible, because if they're already in the club, they're already engaged, they're already with our group, we want to keep them that way. So everything that we look at going forward, we're going to have to keep our, I don't know what the better word, because it's not really a user community, but it's basically the people that are going to consume our content. Is that too much of a speech?
No, I think that was perfect.
Okay. So what do you, I'm going to turn the direction then for this over to Tim. Tim, let us know if we come to a good place where we should stop the recording. I definitely wanted to have the personas recorded, but some of our fishing around in the dark might not be so great for
Okay. I guess now's a good time to pause it. If that's okay.
that's